Simon, I've got a rough idea what your reaction is going to be to this, but I'm keen to hear from Danny on it as well. Ceferin, our friend at the top of UEFA. He's a controversial figure. He means what he says and says what he means when he speaks. This is the UEFA president, Alexander Ceferin. In the last 24 hours, he was asked this: if he could ever see the day when Champions League games, and maybe the Champions League final itself, would be staged in the US. Listen to this.
It's possible. We'd started to discuss about that, but then, 1 year it was World Cup, 24 is Euro, this year is Istanbul, 24 is London, and 25 is Munich. And after that, let's see. It's possible. Football is extremely popular in United States these days. Europeans are ready to pay this amount for the best, this amount for something a bit less, and this amount for even less. Americans are ready to pay this amount for the best and nothing for the least. So they will follow European football as basketball lovers in Europe follow NBA. There are many things around the game that people don't understand because they say, but it's all about money. Of course, our revenues are huge. I would love them to be much, much, much bigger than now. What shocked me actually is that our Euro national team finals, was watched by more people in United States than NBA finals. What shocked me that 30 matches of the Euro, every match viewership was a Super Bowl viewership. So I think we are doing well.
Do you know what? He was speaking to the Men in Blazers show over in the US, and he was obviously a bit full of it and enjoying the moment, hence some of the vocabulary. But that's the first time I've heard that. And I really like what he says there, Simon. Americans are much more talented when it comes to commercialization than us Europeans.
Rubbish.
The fans there think of us bees in Switzerland. It's all about money. And then he goes on to say, but he's not wrong in that, Simon. He says, the 30 matches in the Euros, every viewership had a Super Bowl viewership over there. So why not entertain the biggest competition of the lot in Europe, the Champions League, and play a match over in the US? Not the final. I would disagree with the final being
he's
there.
talking about the final.
I would say play one of the more meaningful later stage matches there and see how it goes.
Okay.
Which one? The two legs.
But let's all pare back a couple of things. If he is right, which I don't think he is, about 97% distribution, let's just say that he is, right? That's still 90 million that isn't accounted for, right? Because they get 3 billion a year in revenues going into the Champions League and the associated competitions. So if they distribute 97% of it back, there's 90 million that are for the benefits of people like Ceferin and so on and so forth. So let's put that into the context, and I think it's even greater than that. The reasons why the Americans... First of all, the Americans have got a marketplace of 360 million. Yeah. So, of course, they're going to have scale. They always have scale because their population is 360 million. We've got 60 million in this country. We produce the most powerful domestic football league in the world from a country that's got 60 million people. So don't be telling me how good the Americans are. Right?
Yeah, but the audience is bigger. Over there.
Well, that's what you just said.
But that's the point I'm making. But
that's the point he's making.
Well, okay, he's not making a very good point because the Super Bowl figure has 170 million viewers and the Champions League final has 800 million. So we've already alighted upon a formula that works and is successful. Now, if there is commercial benefit in advancing the game by taking the Champions League to America and they're going to get more commercial sponsors, then okay, so be it.
Well, no, hold on. He's saying it's not about the money.
Well, of course it's about the money.
No, he's saying people accuse us of it being all about the money. Hold on.
No, he's saying that the distribution model will become still 97% of whatever money we get will be distributed to the clubs.
But he's also said in that piece, basically he's alluded to the fact it's not all about the money, right?
No, he did. He qualifies it. It's not about the money. We distribute 97% of the money.
Yes.
So what he's saying
not all about the money.
Make more money.
Yeah, but he's not. So he's in. Surely, but by that sentence alone, he's saying that we're not all about the money.
No, he's saying we're not about the money. We're distributing the money to the clubs. 97% of the money
which
that we
is
get.
Danny's point.
Right. So it's about the money. The reasons why you're going to America...
You can't listen to that and tell me he's not trying to convince the listener that they're not making decisions based purely on money. He's trying to bring an argument across that the amount of people in America watching these games is massive, therefore they deserve a game, a final.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that if he's not all about the money, which is what he's trying to intimate,
but that makes no sense, Danny.
Well, of course it doesn't. This is where the lie is.
This is not. It's about the money.
You just listen to it. How come? Do you mean it makes no sense?
It makes no sense because
Well,
this
that's
is
exactly what
because
he's
this is
trying to
European
say.
competition. So it's not about the audience that's in America. It's about a European competition being moved to America to be able to generate more commercial revenue.
But he's not
for the
saying that. If he was
competition.
saying that, I'd say, well done, at least being honest about the money.
Right, so it's about the money.
But he's saying it's not in that piece.
but we're
the
agreeing
bottom
it's
line
about the money.
situation
Yeah,
is,
right.
if they moved a Champions League game to the US, it would be a win-win-win situation
No.
for everybody.
No, he wouldn't, because the point
Why?
is the contradiction in this. If he's saying, which he's lying about, it's not about the money, which it is, which Simon's saying, of course it is, and it's about the fans, and it's about the people
about
who
the
love
audience.
the game.
It's about the commercialisation.
You're moving a game the other side of the world from the country that
To an
from
audience
the continent,
which is not indigenous to the competition.
and yes, and furthermore, you're making it impossible for the huge majority of the fans of the team that gets there not be able to go.
I'll give you an example. One of the semi-finals coming up. Take one of the two legs, Milan against Inter, and play it in New York.
You can only use that as an example.
Can you imagine it?
You can only use that as an example.
Can you imagine it?
Why?
It would blow the roof off.
Well, that's
the interest in that
Yeah,
fixture.
but hang on. So one of the semi-finals,
and you play the other leg, where in Milan.
Okay, fine. So what you're suggesting is that
Because they share a
because they
stadium.
share a stadium. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that done.
Now,
Okay,
Never
okay.
a better example.
Clever
Okay,
example.
okay,
Clever
fine.
example.
Work with that. Which team has the majority of support in the first leg at home or the second?
Oh, you get into the minutiae of it eventually.
Well, it's very relevant in an 80,000 stadium if 70,000 are your fans and 10,000. That's not fair. It's not fair and equitable, is it?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. Anyway,
Well, they just put the distribution on that basis when they'd say that one game's
50-50.
Yeah,
did you like the way that Sefrin articulated himself?
Well, yeah, because it shows a certain characteristic that we know exists. But just because they're polished in front of the camera doesn't mean they don't have robust language behind it. I think that, of course, if you can't be on top of your game and be as cocky as you can be when you're in a situation of great ascendancy, which UEFA are, he's seen off challenges, he believes that he is the fulcrum for how football operates in Europe, then fine. I don't particularly like some of the things he says. I like the manner in which he said this conversation because it shows a relatability. We can relate to the conversation, can't we?
I like that.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.